Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, today we're going to discuss linguistics and its branches. Actually, some students told me that linguistics is something that we study for exams and we don't make use of it. They think that linguistics is just some terms that should be defined and crammed for the exams. Actually, this is not the case. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about linguistics in another way. We are going to understand the definition of linguistics and the branches or the main branches of linguistics, okay? Let's try to do this together. Linguistics. Linguistics is the scientific study of language. Okay, linguistics is the scientific study of language. You can see the screen. So it's a science. Linguistics is science. The study of linguistics is science and involves an analysis of language form and involves an analysis of language. So in order to study linguistics, you should analyze what? Analyze language form. Language form. And by language form, we refer to the structure of the language, okay? The structure of the language. The structure of its sounds, the sounds of the language. And here we are talking about phonetics and phonology, okay? So analyzing language from the perspectives of phonetics and phonology, this is an analysis of the form of the sentence, the form of language, the form of language from the sounds. So this is the analysis of language, language form. What type of form? Number one, the form of sounds, okay? Speech sounds, okay? And phonemes. These are related to phonetics and phonology. Then we go to the analysis of words, the analysis of words. And this is the job of morphology, okay? And the analysis of phrases and clauses and sentences, how we compose sentences from clauses and phrases, and how we compose phrases from words. So this is the job of syntax. This is the job of syntax, okay? So this is the definition. Language meaning. Language meaning, this is semantics. Language meaning, this is semantics, okay? So in semantics, we study the meaning of sentence, okay? And the meaning of words and sentences. Then we go to language in context, And here we talk about pragmatics, okay? And this is the language in context, After that, we have applied linguistics and how to apply the findings of language on other studies, okay? So, for example, in this course analysis, we study language in context, also like pragmatics, but we have the findings of pragmatics, the findings of semantics, of syntax, and we apply them on the study of this course, okay? We have second language acquisition, first language acquisition, how we can understand language, as a native speakers and as a second learners of this language. So this is the job also of applied linguistics, okay? Because we have these branches of linguistics and we apply the findings of these on other studies, okay? So they are called applied linguistics to understand other disciplines. We have forensic linguistics and studies the relation between language and law. So we also apply the findings of linguistics on the study of law and legal documents and how to analyze these legal documents, okay? We have also psycholinguistics and neurolinguistics, and we study the relation between language and the brain. So we have different branches of linguistics. We have different branches of linguistics, and also we apply these branches on other disciplines in order to have what's called applied linguistics. And of course, translation is one of the major applied linguistics fields, okay? Because we apply the findings of linguistics on understanding the relation between languages and how to transfer from one language to another in its context, okay? So in translation, we apply a lot of the findings of linguistics, okay? In addition to other disciplines as well. The first strata of language, the first job in linguistics is the study of phonetics. As we said, the form of sounds. What's the meaning of phonetics? Actually, phonetics is the general study of the characteristics of speech sounds. The general study of the characteristics of speech sounds, okay? This is articulatory phonetics, and this is our job in linguistics, is to study the articulatory phonetics. What's the meaning of articulatory phonetics? We study how sounds are produced, okay? In the sense that articulatory phonetics, which is the study of how speech sounds are made, or articulated. So we describe the speech sounds, in a language and give precise description of these sounds. That's why it's sometimes called descriptive phonetics, or linguistic phonetics. Descriptive phonetics, linguistic phonetics, articulatory phonetics, okay? This is the main focus of us as linguists. There are other types of phonetics, okay, but we do not care about them in our study in linguistics, okay? We have auditory phonetics, okay, acoustic phonetics, but these are not the job of linguistics. Actually, in phonetics, we divide sounds into consonants, and consonants are mostly articulated via obstruction of the vocal in the vocal tract. So we divide them into consonants and vowels. How can we differentiate between consonants and vowels in phonetics? Consonants are produced mainly with obstruction of the airflow, okay? So we have voiced and voiceless distinction, okay? Consonants are divided into voiced consonants and voiceless consonants. What's the meaning of voiced and voiceless? Voiced and voiceless means that there is vibration from the two vocal cords. Okay? So in consonants, we have three criteria. Okay? The three criteria are for the description of consonants. The three criteria for describing consonants are: number one, the voiced versus voiceless distinction. بمعنى إن الكونسونانتس أهم حاجة بتميزها عن الفاولز إن في إعاقة للهواء. تمام؟ الهواء اللي طالع من الرئتين هنا في إعاقة. الإعاقة دي في مكان ما داخل الجهاز الصوتي. تمام؟ طيب علشان أعرف الكونسونانت أعرفه وأميزه عن بقية الكونسونانتس لازم أعرف عنه ثلاث حاجات. Three criteria. Number one, is it voiced or voiceless؟ يعني في vibration from the vocal cords, like مثلا This is voiced. This is voiceless, okay? So it's voiced or voiceless. Number two, the place of articulation. The place of articulation مكان النطق بتاعه. فين مكان النطق؟ So this is bilabial. Okay, it's produced by the two lips. لأن هو إيه؟ بالشفتين، عند الشفتين. المخرج بتاعه فين؟ عند الشفتين. The manner of articulation. The manner of articulation اللي هو كيفية الخروج بتاعته. كيفية خروج النطق. فمثلا نقول إن هو plosive. Plosive يعني إيه؟ يعني انفجاري. يعني الهواء تم إعاقة كاملة للهواء ثم بعد كده أتيح له إن هو يخرج بقوة فحصل حاجة اسمها plosion. Plosion, okay? So this is called the manner of articulation, okay? بعد كده بندرس الvowels. While the consonant sounds are mostly articulated via obstruction in the vocal tract, vowel sounds are produced with a relatively free flow of air. يبقى احنا قلنا الكونسونانتس بيبقى فيها اهم ميزه ان في اعاقه. لكن في الفاولز اهم ميزه ان بيكون مفيش اعاقه. يعني vowel sounds are produced with a relatively free flow of air. Free flow of air. Okay? They are all typically voiced. They are all typically voiced. Okay? All the vowels are voiced. All the vowels are voiced. يبقى هنا we are not talking about voiceless vowels. Okay? We are talking about when we say vowels, so this means that they are all voiced. They are all voiced. Okay? Okay, so the vowels, all the vowels are voiced. Okay, and the vowels are produced with what? Open and free flow of air. Okay, there is no obstruction of the air flow. They are all typically voiced. They are all typically voiced. Okay. Vowels are divided into monophthongs and diphthongs. What is the meaning of monophthongs and diphthongs? Monophthongs means mono means one. So monophthongs means one sound. Diph means two. Diphthongs means two sounds. Actually, the monophthongs are vowels which are composed of only one sound. But diphthongs are composed of two sounds. What we call compound vowel phonemes. Compound vowel phonemes. They are composed of two vowels. But these two vowels make one unit. In the sense that the tongue starts at one place and then ends at another place. Like a. So the tongue starts at the position and then go to the I position. Okay, this is called diphthong. But in monophthongs, the tongue does not change its place. So E, the tongue doesn't change its place from the beginning till the end. Then we go to phonology. Okay? Phonology is essentially the description of the systems and patterns of speech sounds in a language. So in phonology, we study the description, not of sounds, but the patterns of a speech sound, the patterns of speech sounds in a language, how these sounds are combined together, how these sounds can affect each other, okay? Also in this course, we study a phoneme, the definition of a phoneme. A phoneme is the minimal meaning distinguishing sounds unit, okay? Sounds meaning distinguishing sounds in a language. So the phoneme is the minimal. Minimal means the smallest, meaning distinguish, that it can distinguish meaning. It can distinguish meaning. So if I change the first phoneme, p, okay, and I replace it with ba, 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 it becomes another word. It becomes bin, bin. Instead of pin, bin, pin, bin. So these are two different phonemes. These are two different phonemes. Pa and ba are two different phonemes because they can change meaning. They can change meaning. So they are called meaning distinguishing. Okay. So this is the phoneme. This is the definition of phoneme. After that, we have the phones. Phones. And phones are versions of a phoneme. Versions of a phoneme. What's the meaning of versions of a phoneme? Okay. It's the same phoneme, the same person. Okay. So look at me. This is me, Hisham. Okay. This is my formal dress. But suppose that you see me in a party and I am wearing a casual dress. Is it the same person or two different persons? What do you think? The same person? We can say that this is another one, or he's the same person? Of course, yes, of course, it's the same person, but it's another version, okay? Because of the situation, okay? Because of the informal situation, so I was wearing casual dress, okay? So this is the same thing. A phoneme may have different shapes, may have different versions. Because of what? Because of the situation. It is followed by a specific sound, it's preceded by another phoneme, and so on. So they affect each other. They affect each other, okay? So this juxtaposition between phonemes can make different phones, For example, the p, 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 the p sound in peak, 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 peak. The p sound in peak is aspirated, okay, fully aspirated. But the p sound in speak is not aspirated. So it's the same p phoneme, the same phoneme. But these are two allophones of the same phonemes, two allophones of the same phonemes, in the sense that the p is one phone, and the p here is another phone. So I don't say speak, speak, speak. No, I say speak, 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 okay? So it's not aspirated. It's not aspirated here because it's preceded by the sa sound. So the sa affected the p. The sa affected the production of p. Okay. Aspirated means that there is puff of air coming of it. P, 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 p. Okay. This is aspiration. Okay. This is the aspiration, okay? The puff of air coming from it. When we have two different pronunciations, allophones of a sound type, phoneme, each used in different places in words, they are said to be in complementary distribution. Yes, if you study phonology, you would find terms like complementary distributions, and complementary distribution mean that the two phones of the same phoneme does not come in the same place, okay? Yeah, this comes in one place, this comes in another place. They cannot be used interchangeably. They complete each other. They complete each other in their distribution. So the unaspirated pa cannot come here instead of the aspirated pa, and so on. The aspirated pa cannot come here after sa. Okay. Of course, I'm not discussing all the branches of linguistics in detail. It's impossible. Okay. I'm just giving an idea about the plan, the blueprint. Okay. The blueprint blueprint of linguistics so that you can go on studying this. When two words such as fan and van, okay, these words actually fan, van, fan, van. These words are called minimal pairs, minimal pairs, okay? A minimal pair means that we have two words which have the same sounds, except one different sound at the same place. So fan and van, okay, they have the first sound, okay, the first sound in each word is different, but the second and the third are the same. So here we use them for distinguishing between similar words, okay, and between phonemes, So they are called a minimal pair, okay? The minimal pair has only one different sound in the same place. In the same place means that this is the first is different from the first. The second is not like the second, okay? That's it. So these are called minimal pairs. The Phono Tactics. In phonology also we study Phono Tactics. What the meaning of Phono Tactics? Phono Tactics means permitted arrangements of sounds. Permitted arrangements of sounds. If we have 44 phonemes in the English language, this does not mean that any one of them can come at any place. No, this is not the case. But some sounds can be allowed to come with other sounds, okay? Some combination of sounds are not allowed in a language. For example, the sah sound can be followed by pa, sah pa, but the sah sound cannot be followed by ba, the voiced ba. It cannot be followed by it in English. This is not possible. This is not a possible combination in English, okay? So this is called the Phono Tactics. Phono means sounds, and tactics means arrangements. Okay. After that, we study the syllable. What the meaning of a syllable? The syllable is the greater structure than the phoneme. Okay, than the phoneme. The syllable must have, or normally it must have a vowel at the center of the syllable. The center of the syllable, okay? Must contain, this is normally, must contain a vowel or vowel-like sound. A vowel or vowel-like sound. A vowel or vowel-like sound at the center of the syllable. So the center must be vowel, must be a vowel, okay? Or a syllabic consonant. So the center of the syllable must be a vowel. It can be preceded by a consonant or followed by a consonant, okay? It can be preceded by a consonant and followed by a consonant or followed by a consonant, or it can be a minimal syllable. The minimal syllable means it has only a vowel. It has only a vowel without consonants, okay? But a syllable cannot have a consonant without vowels. A consonant without vowels. This is not a syllable, okay? So syllable like me, it has a vowel, e vowel, and ma sound, preceded by ma, okay? The consonants that come before a vowel are called onset. The consonants that come after a vowel are called coda. And the vowel is called the nucleus, okay? You know, nucleus, the nucleus or the center, We can also study, in this course, we study coarticulation effects, the process of making one sound virtually at the same time as the next sound, okay? In the sense that some sounds affect other sounds. Some sounds affect other sounds, okay? So for example, when I say seen, okay, seen, okay? Here, the E sound is followed by the N sound, which is nasal sound, okay? So it can affect the type of the vowel and make it nasalized, okay? Although vowels are not nasals, all vowels are oral. But because of the co-articulation means that they are close to each other, so they affect each other, okay? Of course, there are other types of co-articulation effects. Assimilation, for example, there are types of assimilation, and this is part of co-articulation effects. Morphology. In morphology, we study the analysis of the structure of words. The analysis of the structure of words, okay? How words are structured. The smallest unit of meaning or grammatical function, from which words are composed, this is called the morpheme. So it's a minimal unit of meaning or grammatical function, okay? What is the meaning of a morpheme? The smallest. So it's the smallest block from which a word is composed. The meaning of the word is composed, okay? The morphemes are divided into free and bound morphemes. The free morphemes mean that they are free. They can make words by themselves. So a child is one morpheme. How can you know that it's one morpheme? Can it be divided to something else, to something smaller? Can we cut it shorter? Can we divide it? No. If I divide it, I would find something meaningless. Child, no, I don't have, okay? I don't have any smaller divisions of a child. Teach, I cannot divide it. So it's one morpheme, okay? But this is free morpheme. It can make a word by itself, or it's a senseless, it's meaningless. Child, yes, it can make a word by itself. So it's what? It's a free morpheme. And these are free morphemes or not? They can make words by themselves or not? Yes, of course, they can make words by themselves. So they are free morphemes. Okay? They can make words by themselves. So here, the free morphemes are divided into lexical morphemes. What is the meaning of lexical morphemes? They have meaning. They have lexical meaning. They refer to something lexical, okay? They have some lexical meaning, okay? But functional, they have not lexical. They do not refer to some meaning, some lexical meaning, but they refer to grammatical function, Like what? Like prepositions, like some conjunctions, articles, determiners, quantifiers, and so on, okay? These are called functional morphemes, okay? But lexicals like nouns, like adjectives, like verbs, like adverbs, these are called lexical morphemes. Bound morphemes mean that they cannot stand alone as separate words. And they are divided into derivational and inflectional. Derivational means that these morphemes can make new words, or at least change the part of speech, of the words. It can change it from noun into adverb, from noun into adjective, into adverb, and so on, okay? or it change the meaning of the word, okay? Like write and rewrite. So the meaning of write is different from the meaning of rewrite. So the RE here is the revisional morpheme because it changes the meaning of the verb write, okay? Also, we have the suffix ness, okay? Ness. If I have friend, friendly, friendly, friendliness, okay? Happiness. So it changes it from an adjective into a noun, changes from an adjective into a noun. So it changes the part of speech. So these are called revisional morphemes. Inflectional morphemes, they do not change the part of speech, but they change the grammatical aspects, some grammatical aspects like the pastness, for example, like ed. Ed changes the tense of the verb, but it's still a verb. Like and liked, play and played. Actually, the play and played, like and liked, all of these are verbs, okay? They have not changed into another meaning or into another part of speech, but still there is a difference in what? In the tense. They have changed, the ed has changed the tense from present into past. So this is, the ed is inflectional morpheme because it changes the tense, but doesn't change the part of speech or meaning, okay? The S for plural, for example, the S for plural, for nouns, we have the S, okay? Boy, boys. Still boys is a noun, and boy is a noun. So the part of speech has not changed, but what has changed? Plurality, okay? The number, what we call the number. Okay, in grammar, we call it number. The number has changed from singular into plural. Okay, so this is called inflectional morpheme. Okay, then we go to a higher level and we talk about the structure of the language, and the structure of the phrases and sentences, And this is studied in syntax, okay? This is studied in syntax. And in the past, they said that grammar means syntax and morphology, What's called in Arabic, syntax, نحو, morphology, الصرف, okay? Grammar, القواعد. So it was said that grammar means syntax plus morphology, okay? So here in syntax, we study the structure of phrases and sentences, okay? Syntactic structures, the analysis of the structure of phrases and sentences. As we said, syntax studies what? Studies the analysis of structures, okay? The main goal of syntactic analysis is to have a small and finite means limited, set of rules that will be capable of producing a large and potentially infinite, unlimited number of well-formed structures. The point is that we cannot have a list of all the sentences or all the possible sentences in a language, right? But we can have a set, a group of rules, okay, that can produce these sentences or generate these sentences. That's why this small and finite or limited set of rules is something described as a generative grammar, okay? So the generative grammar means a limited number of rules, okay, through which I can generate the infinite number of possible and grammatical sentences in a language. Okay? As we said before, I cannot have a list or a group of the sentences in a language, like in the dictionary. In the dictionary, we have the words in a language, okay? But we cannot have a dictionary for sentences. This is not possible, okay? But we can have a set of rules, to generate or to produce these sentences, okay? The most influential syntactic theory was the generative transformational grammar. And in this theory, we have the phrase structure rules. These rules are responsible for the structure of the phrase, okay? And through these rules, we can have a specific type of components that compose a phrase and their arrangements. For example, when I say that boy the sleeping is, I cannot accept this as an English sentence. Why? Because according to the PS rules, the sentence must have NP first, NP, and the NP is composed of noun, phrase, and the noun phrase has a noun, and preceding this noun we have an article. But here you say boy the, so the noun comes before the article. This is not possible in English. Okay, so if I follow these phrase structure rules, I can distinguish between what's acceptable sentences and what is unacceptable sentence. Also, we can study in this course, in syntax course, we can study the deep structure and the surface structure and differentiate between the deep structure of the sentence, as Chomsky said, and the surface structure of this sentence, okay? The phrase structure rules, okay, they are very important. You should have these rules, you should study these rules in order to generate the sentences, okay? There are also some lexical rules which are added after that in order to explain why some sentences are acceptable syntactically, but they don't have semantic meaning, okay? They don't have meaning semantically or lexically, okay? So there must be some lexical rules. Also, in this course, you will be able to draw three diagrams for what? For the grammatical structures. Yani, when I say the boy is sleeping, I would draw a tree diagram and say that this is NP, noun phrase, plus verb phrase. The noun phrase is composed of the article the and the noun boy, the N, boy, noun, is sleeping. This is the verb phrase. It's composed of the verb. The verb here is composed of auxiliary, and the main verb sleeping, okay? So, of course, in the course of syntax, you are expected to study things like this, okay? Or in the course of Introduction to Linguistics, okay? In the course of Introduction to Linguistics, you are studying these things, okay? Semantics. Meaning of words and sentences. Semantics studies the meaning of words and sentences. And after that, we have semantic features. Words as containers of meaning. Okay? Semantic features mean that the features of nouns. We can distinguish between nouns according to some semantic features, like is this noun animate or inanimate? Okay. I'm going to give you an example. For example, when I say the table is drinking milk. The table is drinking milk. Syntactically, according to its structure, this sentence is acceptable. According to its structure, this sentence is acceptable. The table is drinking milk, okay? But according to its meaning, it's odd. We call it an odd sentence. Odd in the sense that it's not acceptable. Its meaning is not acceptable, although its structure is acceptable. It's the structure, noun phrase plus verb phrase. Yes, it's a noun phrase plus verb phrase. But why? Why it's not acceptable? Although its structure is acceptable. So there are the semantic features, Here, according to the semantic features, we would say that the word table is minus animate. And the verb drink needs a noun with the semantic feature plus animate. That's why it's not semantically acceptable. Okay? After that, we have semantic rules. So we can study meaning through the semantic rules. What is the meaning of semantic rules? Semantic rules refer to the role played by the nouns in a sentence. For example, if this noun the agent or the theme. For example, Ahmed is playing football, okay? Ahmed is playing football. Ahmed here is the agent. Agent means the one who does the action. Theme is the one affected by the action. So football is the theme of the sentence, okay? Because football is affected by the action of playing. We have different semantic rules, and we can analyze the sentence according to these semantic rules, not according to the syntactic structure, okay? But according to their roles, to their functions, semantically, okay? After that, we study lexical relations. We can also define the meaning of words according to their lexical relations. And I can say that this word, the relation between these words is synonymy. So I can define the word according to its synonym or its antonym or hyponymy. Hyponymy means an example of. Okay, hyponymy means an example of. Yani vehicle, the relation between vehicle and car. A car is an example or a hyponym of what? Of vehicle, okay? Prototypes, the best example. Prototype means the best example of something. The relation between homophones, homonyms, polysemy, metonymy, collocations, okay? All these are studied in semantic analysis, okay? What's called lexical relations, And we have something called lexical semantics. If you study semantics before, I think you have lexical semantics. And also in translation, we have some courses in lexical semantics. You should study lexical semantics. After that, we have pragmatics. Of course, I'm sorry, but of course, I have to give you guidelines because I cannot explain everything, of course. These are complete courses, but I'm just giving you the clues to read more and more about them. Okay, and I'm going to give you the name of the book that can help you with this. Pragmatics studies meaning as well, like semantics, but pragmatics studies invisible meaning. Not only what is said, but also what is unsaid. Pragmatics studies the intended speaker of the meaning, of the intended meaning of the speaker, in the sense that if you If you say something, sometimes you're asked, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? So there is a difference between the meaning of the sentence and the meaning of the speaker. The sentence meaning, this is studied in semantics, and the sentence meaning means the meaning of words in this sentence, okay? So when I say, this is the best day in my life, what's the meaning of this sentence? As a sentence, as a written sentence, I don't know who said this, when, where, why, how, I don't know. So the meaning of this sentence is, this is the best day. The best here means, okay, better than any other day. So this is the meaning of the sentence. Yani this day is better than any other day. But suppose that it is said by a student when he asked me about his results, and I told him, you failed in all the courses. You failed in all the courses. So he said, oh, this is the best day in my life. So of course, he does not mean the best day in my life. He means the worst day in my life. But how can I know this? I cannot know this from the meaning of the words, but I can know this from the meaning of the context, the situation. So I must know who said this, to whom, why, where, when, how, okay? So the meaning can change if it were said in a different way. So if I say, welcome, okay? I found my daughter coming and complaining. My brother told me welcome. So what? Welcome is something bad? It's something good. Why are you complaining? No, he said it like this. Welcome. Okay? So the way of saying something is very important. How it was said. Okay? So it might give the opposite meaning. You understand my point? So here, this is the invisible meaning in pragmatics. How something is said is part of what is said. How something is said is part of what's said. The meaning in context. What the meaning of context? The context means the time, the space, or the place, the person who said this, okay? How, why, okay? So all these things are part of the context. You understand my point? For example, if I say, in a class, in one of my classes, I entered and asked a student to give me a book. Okay, give me the book. Please give me the book. The student had 3 books with him. I chose a student who had 3 books. Okay, and I told him, give me the book. He gave me the Pragmatics book. He gave me the Pragmatics book. I asked him, did I tell you to give me the Pragmatics book? He said, no, but you told me give me the book. Right. I told you give me the book, but I didn't say the Pragmatics book. You have other books. Why didn't you ask me which book? Does the word the book means the Pragmatics book? The word the book means only Pragmatics book, or means any book? Means any book. Okay. So what's the meaning of this? How he can understand this? Because of the meaning of the words or because of the situation? But there is additional meaning. The meaning of what? Of the place and the time. So the student made it like this. This is the lecture of pragmatics. And this teacher gives us pragmatics. And now this is the time of the pragmatics lecture. So we are, when he asks about the book, he means the pragmatics book, not any other book. He has a translation book and an Arabic book, but he didn't think about any other book. Why? Because of what? Because of the context. Okay, the context of situation. All these things could affect his decision to give me the pragmatics book, but not only the meaning of words, but the situation itself. The same question, or the same order I gave in another lecture. Okay, give me the book in a translation. I was giving the translation as well. Give me the book. He gave me the translation book, not any other book. Why? Because of the situation, the change of the situation. Okay, although it's the same person and the same order, the same words, the same phrasing, but the context changed. The context changed. Okay. Invisible meaning context. Oh, of course, this is the context. Okay, as we said, the axis, and in the axis you study deictic expressions like I, he, she, you, like temporal deaxis, like yesterday, tomorrow. These words don't have meaning without situation, without context. Okay, yani tomorrow, what is the meaning of tomorrow? I cannot understand the meaning of tomorrow without understanding when it was said. Like the butcher. Do you know the butcher who wrote once, okay, an announcement? Tomorrow meat is for free. Tomorrow meat is for free. Many people said, okay, we are not going to buy meat today. Tomorrow we are coming. Okay. Many people came to buy meat, okay, the next day. And he gave them the meat and asked for money. He said, no money, it's for free. Who said that it's for free? See, you said the announcement. He asked them to read the announcement. He did not say it. It was just an announcement written. He asked them to read the announcement. So they read it, tomorrow meat is for free. Oh, so every time they are going to read it, it would be tomorrow, unless you tell me when it was written. Okay, so if you are talking about the meaning of tomorrow in the sentence, every time you are going to read it, it would be tomorrow, unless you tell me that it was written in a specific time. Reference. In reference, we refer to referring to things, either directly or indirectly. We refer to things directly and indirectly, and in inference also, and the anaphora also is related to anaphoric, and the cataphoric reference, this is also related to reference. Inference, in inference, we refer to what we understand by the reference. If you refer to something, I understand what is, I make my mind in order to infer the meaning, okay? Infer the meaning, you know, infer, okay? To conclude something, okay? يستنتج معنى معين. Anaphora is a type of reference to refer to something that is mentioned before. When I say my father is very happy today, he got a bonus. He refers to my father. So this is called anaphoric reference. Presupposition means to presuppose something, means to assume that this is the fact before saying something. And this is very dangerous in discourse analysis, presupposition. Because when I presuppose something, this means that I take it for granted and I don't allow you to discuss. So when I say that your brother is a doctor, so I assume that you have a brother. Your brother is not a doctor. Also, I presuppose that you have a brother. So either you have a brother, your brother is a doctor, or your brother is not a doctor. There is the presupposition that You have a brother. When I ask you, why did you cheat in the exam? Why did you cheat in the exam? Here, I presuppose that you cheated in the exam, but I'm asking you about the reason for this. But I presuppose means I take it for granted. I don't discuss it with you. So it's something presupposed. But I didn't say that you cheated in the exam. But the meaning of you cheated in the exam is presupposed in the meaning of the question. Okay, there are a lot of theories that are studied in pragmatics, like the politeness theory, negative and positive phase, speech acts, direct and indirect speech acts. These are many theories, okay? And actually, I was teaching this course for many times. The course of pragmatics alone, it was given as a separate course, okay? I taught it for many years. And this course of linguistics, I taught it for over 10 years, okay? So it's very interesting, but it needs time to be discussed. But pragmatics alone needs to be studied in a separate course, okay? If you want more details, you can check the book by George Yule, The Study of Language. I think the sixth edition is available online. It's available online. You can download it, okay? Thank you very much for your attentive listening and for your time. I wish